welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations and one of the Managing Directors for BNI Arizona. And every single week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. So today is going to be a continuation from last week. So if you remember from last week, we started with talking about the hidden elements of a BNI chapter meeting. Now, as you know, one of the pieces of the BNI structure is the BNI agenda. So every single chapter around the world does the same exact agenda, but there are chapters that are good, and then there are chapters that are great. And one of the pieces that makes a chapter and differentiates them from good to great is how they do these hidden elements. It is so key. So all of the chapters do the same exact agenda, but with these little pieces throughout the agenda to where you can incorporate personality and heart and culture. Those pieces that you incorporate into the chapter make your chapter stand out apart from the rest. So last week we started with the first hidden element, which was open networking and how important the visitor hosts are to that open networking role. It's so crucial to have the right people in the right spots when it comes to the support team roles, but then how we do things, and even as an entire chapter level, really incorporate the visitors into each portion of the meeting is key as well, because as you know, the meetings are for the visitors. So we want to make sure that we're doing as much as possible to incorporate the visitors into the communication through the different pieces of the meeting. Now, the second hidden element that we're going to cover today is all about one of our core values, which is recognition. Now, every single chapter does recognition, whether you do the weekly recognition or just the monthly recognition, but you want to make sure that the recognition is happening consistently, but it's how you do that recognition that stands chapters apart. So if you visit different chapters, you'll notice different things, and I've personally witnessed this at different chapters all over, not just here in Arizona, but in different states as well. So one of the pieces around recognition, one is acknowledging the recognition. That is super key. But two, it's the personality behind that recognition as well, and really recognizing the members for what the amazing accomplishments are that they did. So if we have the numbers on the screen in the slideshow and we list all the members out, that's amazing. You want to make sure that we're not just saying, all right, Susie had the most one-to-ones. Congratulations, Susie. Bob had the most referrals. Congratulations, Bob. Well, that's great. We're recognizing, but you want to put some personality and some heart into that recognition. So you want to be excited for those members. When you're in the front of the room announcing the recognition, make sure that usually it's the vice president that does the recognition. Or two, you can have a recognition coordinator. So if you want to delegate that piece of the agenda to someone that you know is just going to blow it out of the water when it comes to recognizing the members on a weekly and monthly basis, feel free to do that. So, along with recognizing and having the statistics visible, one of the next pieces is having a notable networker certificate to hand out to that member. Or I know that some chapters have gotten really creative with different awards and gift certificates and all sorts of amazing things. So you can get creative when it comes to the recognition, which will again make your chapter stand out from the rest. If your chapter is doing the motions and going through the motions and just standing up and doing the recognition, you're doing the recognition, but again, if you want to go from good to great, it's how you do the recognition that is going to make the difference for your chapter. So get creative with the recognition. Recognize more than just the numbers, right? So if someone, I know that several chapters have done a monthly member award and gotten really creative with the recognitions around milestones as well. We have a lot of members that have surpassed the $1 million Thank You for Closed Business Club, which means that they, over their lifetime in BNI, have passed more than $1 million worth of business to other BNI members. Like, that's huge. So one of the pieces in the upcoming training that we're going to teach on, especially for the leadership team roles for this upcoming year, is different levels of recognition that you can have within a chapter outside of just the normal passing referrals, chapter education units, visitors, all of those things. There's so much more to the BNI statistics that we can really take advantage of and take that recognition to another level. When chapters take that recognition to another level, that's when visitors are like, wow, this chapter is doing amazing things, and it's so much fun, because we love to have fun within the chapter meetings. It's not just going through the motions of the agenda. Again, guys, it's how we implement things and how we do the agenda that's going to separate each chapter from itself. I know that some chapters have created a skit around recognition and had a lot of fun around that piece. So making sure that when we're recognizing, we're also bringing those members to the front of the room, not just having them sit at their seats. If it's the big monthly recognition, then we want to make sure that we're bringing those members to the front of the room, recognizing them with either a notable networker certificate or some type of award. And then also, one of the pieces that we can really utilize is taking a picture of those members that are being recognized and posting it on social media. That would be an additional opportunity to build visibility, not only for the members, but for your chapter as well. Recognition is such a big deal, guys. So we want to make sure that we are going above and beyond with the recognition, especially if you are a recognition coordinator or a vice president. If you are viewing your recognition piece and you're like, you know what, we could do better. Hey, do it. You can get creative with the recognition. Nothing says that you have to just stick to a specific script when it comes to the agenda. The agenda is done in a specific order to really create success for the chapter and to provide the best visitor experience. But it's how we do those pieces of agenda that are going to really take everyone to the next level. As I mentioned last week, I constantly get questions from different chapters as to what things they could be doing better to match up to some of the other chapters that are around the valley that a lot of visitors are talking about how they had an amazing experience. And this is one of them. It's creating the different things around the hidden element sections of the meeting to go from good to great. So as a recap, last week we touched on the hidden element all around open networking. So check out last week's video to get all the details on that. And this week, all about recognition, guys. Let's get creative with the recognition, really promote our amazing members for all of the accomplishments that everyone has been doing each month, every week, every year. You could do quarterly awards, you could do annual awards. The sky's the limit, guys. You don't have to just stay in a box with the recognition. You can get creative and go above and beyond and really set your chapter apart from all of the others. So if you have any questions about this, definitely let me know. I'm happy to help. But please make sure to record one chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.